In the heart of ancient Persia lies the Lut Desert, a place forsaken by rain and life. Here the sun reigns with an iron fist, the earth scorched and silent. This is a kingdom of heat and emptiness, where even the air feels heavy, and the land resists all who enter. In this crucible of the earth, a line is drawn between what can endure and what must perish. It is a boundary that few living things can cross. Here, in the deepest reaches of the Lut, tales are not of survival, but of surrender. Birds, caught in the thermal updrafts, are said to fall from the sky, their wings failing as the superheated air robs them of strength. Their small bodies become little more than scorched feathers upon the baked clay, a stark and silent warning to all who might follow. This is not a metaphor, it is a grim reality in a place where the atmosphere itself becomes a weapon against the living. The silence of the desert is profound because it is a silence born of absence. There is no bird song to greet the dawn, no skittering of lizards in the undergrowth, no hum of insects in the midday heat. Life in all its vibrant and chaotic forms has been systematically erased from this landscape. The food chain has collapsed because its very foundation has been incinerated. Scientists and explorers who have ventured into its core report an almost sterile environment, a place where even bacteria struggle to find purchase in the desiccated, salt-encrusted soil. This is of absolute desolation. This profound emptiness has given the Lut Desert a reputation that borders on the mythological. In ancient texts and local folklore, it is often depicted as a cursed land, a veritable hell on earth that was intentionally made uninhabitable by divine or demonic forces. It is a place to be circumvented, a blank spot on the map that traders and armies would go to great lengths to avoid. The desert became a symbol of the ultimate void, a physical manifestation of an abyss from which nothing could ever return, a place of ancient horror. Its fearsome reputation was its greatest defense, keeping its secrets locked away for centuries. The question that arises from this stark reality is not just how hot this place can get, but what such an extreme environment signifies. Is it merely a geological anomaly, a random confluence of topography and climate? Or is there something more at play, a deeper secret that the heat is meant to guard? When a place is so hostile that it repels the very essence of life, it begins to feel less like a natural landscape and more like a fortress, a barrier designed to keep something out or perhaps to keep something in. Right in the middle of this huge furnace is a special area, a flat top of dark volcanic rock that has a scary name, Gandom Beryan. In Persian, that name means roasted wheat. This isn't just a fancy way of talking, it's a name that came from a chilling old story, a tale that has been told for many, many years, like a quiet warning. The story says that a long, long time ago, a group of travelers with camels got lost in this tough part of the desert. They had to leave behind their valuable wheat, piling the bags on the dark, sun-baked ground, hoping to come back for it one day. But they never did. When another group of travelers found the spot weeks or months later, they saw the left-behind bags, but inside the raw wheat grains had been cooked completely by the sun's strong, never-ending power. They had been roasted as if in an oven. This showed how amazing the ground was at soaking up and giving off heat. The story became a lasting part of what the land was known for, a warning built right into its name. Gandom Beryan wasn't just hot, it was like a natural oven, a place that could turn the food of life into dry, dead husks. This flat area of Gandom Beryan is where the Lut Desert's heat is strongest. The dark lava flows that cover its surface from old volcanoes act like a perfect black material. They soak up a huge amount of the sun's rays that hit them, turning light into burning heat. During the hottest months, the temperature of these rocks can go up to levels you can't even imagine, making a tiny area that is much, much harsher than the rest of the desert. This is the place that NASA's satellites have pointed out as one of the hottest spots on the whole planet. The story of the roasted wheat is more than just an old tale. it really changes how we understand this place. It turns the desert from a quiet, empty space into an active, almost mean force. It's a place that does things. It cooks, it burns, it kills. This story makes it feel like the natural world has a mind and a purpose that is very unsettling. The desert isn't just empty, it's a protector, and its heat is its main weapon. In Gandom Beryan, even shadows offer no solace. The heat is so intense, shade becomes a fleeting illusion. Thermometers break, electronics melt, and even satellites struggle to measure the inferno. Here, the line between science and myth blurs, and the desert guards its secrets with relentless, scorching power. This is no ordinary desert. Its name, Lut, means the empty plain, a place where the earth itself seems to have exhaled, leaving behind a hollow chamber of heat and silence. Here the sun and wind rule, and the silence is heavy, ancient, and watchful. The Lut Desert is not empty of meaning, it is full of a presence that endures. The Lut Desert is a graveyard of salt and stone, a mosaic of death shaped by time and wind. Salt flats stretch endlessly, cracked and silent. Dark red pavements and towering chalutes rise like phantom ships. Here life and journeys end, leaving only silence and the haunting beauty of desolation. In the heart of Iran's Lut Desert lies Gandom Beryan, the roasted wheat. Legend tells of a lost caravan, forced to abandon its wheat on the black volcanic plateau, where the sun roasted it to dust. This story became a warning. Here the earth itself is a furnace, demanding respect and surrender. Gandom Beryan's searing heat is born from ancient volcanic fury. Dark basaltic rocks, remnants of lava flows, absorb the sun's energy, radiating it back to create a superheated ground. Here, the fire from below meets the fire from above, forging a landscape of relentless, awe-inspiring extremes, a true testament to nature's raw power. For centuries, the Lut Desert appeared as a blank space on ancient maps, an admission of defeat, a void so hostile it was treated as a non-place. Armies and traders skirted its edges, fearing what lay within. Was it simply uncharted, or was it hiding something never meant to be found? The Lut Desert has long inspired not curiosity but a deep primal fear. Its dangers, blistering heat, endless silence, and vanishing caravans became legend. Even today, with modern technology, the desert remains deadly. Perhaps this fear was no accident, but a shield guarding secrets hidden beneath the sands. The Lut Desert's heart, Gandom Beryan, is less a landscape and more a fortress. Its walls built from heat, emptiness, and silence. Nature itself is the gatekeeper, repelling all with relentless force. This emptiness isn't just absence, it's protection, a barrier for whatever secrets may lie beneath. If you wanted to hide something, sacred, forbidden, or ancient, what better vault than the world's hottest furnace? Here, science and myth intertwine. The desert's heat is both a measurable phenomenon and a legendary curse. The Lut stands as a guardian, its fiery breath daring us to ask, what secrets does it protect? For years, Gandom Beryan's 70°C record made it the hottest place on Earth, but new satellite data shattered that certainty, revealing temperatures soaring to 80.8 degrees Celsius. This isn't just a number, it's a challenge to our understanding of what Earth can endure. The desert's black rock absorbs and radiates heat with terrifying efficiency, blurring the line between science and legend. Each new record makes tales of roasted wheat and falling birds seem less like myth, more like fact. The Devil's Thermometer keeps ticking upward, deepening the mystery. In the Lut, heat is not just a statistic, it's a living enigma. The Lut's danger is so real, Iran bans entry to its core during summer. This isn't a warning, it's law, an admission that no one can survive the furnace at its peak. The ban turns the desert into a forbidden zone, amplifying its mystery and allure. Yet, thrill seekers and researchers still risk everything, drawn by the challenge and the unknown. Their stories of failing vehicles, melting gear, and near-fatal heat fuel the desert's legend. Most landmarks invite visitors. The Lut excludes them, its message clear: here you are on your own, what lies within so dangerous it must be forbidden by law. The Lut's history is a tapestry of vanished caravans and whispered warnings. Merchants lured by shortcuts vanished without trace, swallowed by heat and emptiness. The desert erases evidence. Wind and sun reduce flesh and bone to dust, leaving only myth. These stories persist as ghosts, haunting the region and deterring the bold. The Lut is not just deadly, it consumes, leaving no proof, only chilling legend. The lost caravans are its silent sentinels, their fate a warning echoing through time. Here, history is defined by what cannot be found. The desert's greatest secret may be the stories it has erased. The Lut is famed for lifelessness, a sterile, burning plain where nothing should survive. Yet, against all odds, life persists. A desert mantis, a brine shrimp, each defying the impossible. These creatures endure by extraordinary means: cryptobiosis, heat resistance, shattering the myth of total sterility. Their existence hints at hidden ecosystems, secret adaptations, and life's relentless will. The Lut's emptiness is not absolute. It's a paradox, a graveyard that is also a cradle. If life can survive here, what else might be hidden, waiting to be found? The desert's greatest mystery may not be its death, but its improbable life. In the heart of the furnace, possibility endures. The Lut Desert's contradictions, its heat, legends, and hidden life, hint at a secret buried for millennia. Perhaps a lost civilization once thrived here, shielded by the desert's hostility. The ruins, artifacts, and whispers from beneath the sand invite us to look past the glare and wonder what stories still sleep below. In an age of satellite imagery, some frontiers remain unconquered. The Lut Desert's heart, Gandom Beryan, is one such place. Ruhi Chennet and his team set out to face the furnace, not just to measure its heat, but to experience its legend. The desert's power is ancient and unforgiving, testing every step, every breath. The furnace was waiting, and they stepped willingly into its embrace. In our modern world, we trust technology to guide and protect us. But in Gandom Beryan, the desert's heat overwhelms even our best machines. Thermometers fail, cameras shut down, and even boots melt. Here, the desert holds dominion, reminding us that some places machines must surrender. As the machines failed, the physical toll on the human body intensified. The air was so dry and hot that sweat evaporated the instant it formed, a cruel trick that offered no cooling relief, only accelerated dehydration. Every breath was like inhaling fire, searing the throat and lungs. Their skin, even when covered, felt as though it was under a constant low-grade broil, threatening to burn with even momentary exposure to the direct sun. The world was reduced to a set of primal, overwhelming sensations: the crushing heat from above, the radiating heat from below, and the searing wind that seemed to come from all directions at once. It was a total sensory assault. In this extreme environment, reality itself began to feel thin and unstable. The intense heat created powerful mirages, turning the horizon into a wavering liquid landscape. Distant rocks would shimmer and morph, taking on the shapes of impossible structures or moving figures, a phenomenon that likely explains many of the ghostly legends of this place. The mind, starved of water and struggling with the heat, becomes susceptible to these illusions. The line between what is real and what is a heat-induced hallucination starts to blur. It is a place that attacks not just the body but the very perception of the world, making you question your own senses. The psychological pressure was immense. The silence of the desert, once a subject of myth, became a heavy, suffocating blanket. It was a silence born of a complete absence of life, a void that amplified the sound of their own frantic heartbeats and labored breathing. This profound isolation, combined with the constant physical discomfort and the failure of their equipment, created a feeling of utter helplessness. They were small, fragile beings in a landscape that was actively hostile to their existence. The desert's power was not in any single danger, but in the relentless, compounding effect of all its pressures at once. This was the modern descent into hell. It was not a journey into a mythical underworld of fire and brimstone, but into a real physical place on our own planet that embodied those very concepts. The experience transcended simple adventure. It became a confrontation with the absolute limits of endurance. The crew was no longer just observing the desert, they were being absorbed by it, their reality melting and warping under its incredible heat. They were learning firsthand that the legends were not exaggerations. They were warnings, and they had walked right past them. In the heart of the desert, where technology fails, the earth itself becomes the kitchen. The crew cracked an egg into a pan, letting the sun-baked rocks do the rest. In minutes, the egg cooked faster than on a stove, proof of the desert's raw power. Here, survival and legend meet, and the earth itself serves the meal. Amidst the overwhelming heat, the failing equipment, and the crushing sense of desolation, something impossible happened. In a world that was supposed to be sterile, a place defined by its utter lack of life, there was movement. It was a small thing, easily missed. A shape, stark against the blackened stone, stirred in the shimmering heat. It was an insect, a lone mantis, moving with a strange, deliberate grace across the blistering hot surface. In the heart of the furnace, in a place where even machines surrendered, a tiny, fragile creature was alive. It was defiant. It was home. This single, shocking moment shattered the expedition's entire understanding of the place. All the narratives of a dead, empty void evaporated. The desert was not dead, the myths were not all wrong. Life, against all odds, had found a way. The sight of the mantis was more jarring than any equipment failure, more profound than the heat itself. It was a paradox in motion, a living contradiction to the desert's reputation. Its presence was a testament to the unimaginable resilience of nature, a force that could carve out a niche for life in the most hellish corner of the planet. The discovery sent a ripple of questions through the exhausted crew. If this one creature could survive here, what else could? The mantis was not a ghost, it was a complex organism. It needed to eat, to drink, to reproduce. Its existence implied the presence of a hidden ecosystem, a secret web of life operating just beyond the limits of their perception. Perhaps there were other insects hiding in the cooler crevices of the rocks. Perhaps there were dormant seeds and eggs lying in wait beneath the surface, protected from the sun's wrath. The desert was not a barren wasteland, it was a world of secrets. This stirring in the silence was the climax of their descent. They had come seeking the hellish heart of the desert and found instead a miracle. It was a moment that transformed their journey from one of survival into one of discovery. The lone insect, a tiny speck of life in a vast ocean of heat, represented a hope and a mystery far greater than they had anticipated. Not all myths are wrong, not all deserts are dead, and in the deepest furnace of the earth, something still moves, a quiet and persistent pulse of life, whispering that the greatest secrets are yet to be uncovered. As the sun sets over the Lut Desert, the heat lingers, radiating from black volcanic stones long into the night. This is no ordinary warmth, it's a relentless, suffocating presence, a memory of the day's fury. Gandom Beryan's heat is the soul of the place, a mystery that defies science and legend alike. Is it a geological anomaly or a forbidden gate guarding secrets we're not meant to know? The desert's curse endures, timeless, enigmatic, and forever untamed. At the edge of the Lut Desert we find only deeper mysteries. Its impossible heat, ancient legends, and resilient life all whisper secrets but never confess. The desert dares us to uncover its truth. The only question that remains is personal. Would you dare to step where even shadows burn?